Hey guys, it's Folkbanger, and I have a little bit of a problem, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. So let's just go through some Tempest trials with the team as I talk about it. So, as you all know, as you all should know,
Sun's in my eyes.
I don't know why you wouldn't know at this point, the new banner in Fire Emblem Heroes
Time to dive in.
is going to be a banner for 3 houses, which includes all the lords and Byleth. And one of those lords is Claude, obviously, and I really like him a lot, and I'm definitely going to summon for him. I actually announced
Wouldn't miss it.
on my Twitter already that I would be doing a summoning session for him with all the tickets and all the orbs that I currently have, which is about 120 right now, so it'll be about 140-ish when we get to the thing because of the story chapters, and I'm going to get one today, so I'll actually be on exactly 120 by the end of this video. And as you know, as you should know, Claude in this game is a horse cavalier. He's colorless, but he's a horse cavalier, which is very remarkably similar to our friend Walt here, who I just decided to
My turn?
basically abandon
Wouldn't miss it.
Alphonse for, because I really like his design and I thought that his weapon was interesting, so I decided to use him instead. Now, the reason that I'm very conflicted about this is because I honestly like
Wouldn't miss it.
Let's see now.
Claude a lot more than I like Walt, and they've made Claude into basically the same thing that Walt is, except better in every capacity.
Let's go then.
Yes, dear.
Apart from stats, because we don't know the stats yet. So, to explain it, basically what I like to do, as you can see with this team, is I have one unit, and then they are surrounded by a bunch of support units that make that unit just a whole lot stronger. In this case,
Time to dive in.
Walt here gets like plus 12 in all stats from
What's your plan?
Elliewood,
For
and then he gets
eternity.
another plus 2 from Ninian, so that's 14, and then like, you know, plus 4 attack, plus 3 defense and
go.
res. He's giving plus 3 attack and defense, another plus 3 res, another plus 4 defense and res.
Wouldn't miss it.
Ranulph's got his big catch bow, which gives him plus 5 attack and speed if the foe has a debuff like these two here on the map do.
My turn?
So, like, they get pretty beefy. Like, the stats are always in, like, you know, 70s to 80s range. Sometimes they can hit up to 90 if I'm lucky enough. So, you know, I got that hookup with all those stats. But the thing is,
Let's be happy.
sorry, I lost my train of thought. The thing is, Claude's weapon, his cunning bow, is basically a better version of Walt's bow in every capacity. So what Walt's bow does, the this one here,
Time to dive
the
in.
big catch bow, is that if the foe has a penalty on them, it grants attack speed plus 5 during combat to Walt.
What's your plan?
Meanwhile, what Claude's bow does is it grants minus 5 to all stats on the foe if the difference on visible buffs, so blue buffs and red debuffs, on Claude and the foe is equal or greater to 10% in Claude's favor. Not 10%, equal or greater to 10 in Claude's favor. So if Claude has, for example, like a plus 6 buff in attack, and the foe has a minus 6 buff in attack, then the difference is 12. So he gets, when he is in combat, his foe gets minus 5 in all of his stats, which is essentially the same as saying that Claude gets plus 5 in all of his stats.
My turn?
Now, you're probably thinking,
Sun's in my
well,
Eternity.
Claude's bow is very much situational, whereas Walt's is much easier to handle because all they need to do is have a penalty, which means they just need to have a debuff. It doesn't need to be a specific debuff. And that's what I thought at first. That's what I thought also at first. I thought the exact same thing. But then I realized that
see now.
Sorry, I just don't want to lose.
Wouldn't miss it.
Then I realized that
Yes, dear?
Time to dive in.
because Walt is getting +6 in all of his stats, and the foe usually has a chill, that's -7. So that means Walt usually always has +13 against a foe, especially towards the end, where like there's one foe on the field and they get all the chills. And I feel like that would be really easy to pull off on Claude, especially with stuff like let's see here.
Sun's in my eyes.
Attack smoke specifically is like the crux of this strategy with Claude. He comes with defense smoke, but I think I'm going to swap it to attack smoke anyway.
What's your plan?
If this were Claude right now, so what's she got? She's got a -7 debuff in
Time to
speed,
dive in.
and Claude has a +6 buff. So the difference there is 13. So in this example, if Claude was attacking this Catria, Catria would have -5 in all stats. And that's where my problem lies, because I just, like, replaced Alphonse with this Walt because of how much better Walt is compared to Alphonse in terms of, like, getting the buffs. But Claude then does it even better because everything that
Wouldn't miss
Walt
it.
currently has, Claude gets the exact same buffs, but he also gets +5 defense and res from the bow. Not to mention that Claude's
Time to
bow
dive in.
is
Let's be happy.
Let's go then. Let's see now.
a perf, and I think it grants like speed or something, or whatever it grants, attack, I don't know.
Sun's in my eyes.
I'll probably put it up on the screen if it grants anything. I might just be forgetting and it actually grants nothing. But basically, Claude is just better than Walt in every single way possible at this point. He's also colorless, which is a huge, huge plus for him, because being colorless as a bow is so much better than being a colored bow. Because like right now, for example, on this map right here, there's 3 blue units, which means Walt is going to have a really easy time taking care of them. But if I was on a map with all red units, then Walt would have a bit of a harder time because he has to deal with the weapon triangle. But Claude doesn't have to deal with the weapon triangle. He's just, you know, he's just going to
For eternity.
always have,
Sun's in my eyes.
What's your plan?
he's just gonna always have the same damage no matter what color he's facing, because he doesn't have weapon triangle anything. He doesn't have weapon triangle to deal with. So I have decided,
Wouldn't miss it.
and I have decided,
Let's see now.
but I haven't really, like,
Let's be
fully committed to this idea yet. My idea that I've decided on is,
Time to dive in.
when I'm doing the summoning video, if I get Claude within, like, I don't know, if I get a Claude and then I can, if I get a Claude and his IVs are the exact IVs that I want, like for example,
Sun's in my eyes.
Walt's IV is plus res. He's got +1 merge, but his IV is plus res, which is the exact IV I wanted for him because it gives him, when I give him attack res bond, it gives him equal defense and res. So whenever the stats come out, which should be, I can't check the date right now because I'm recording. I think it's tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow should be the update. It's either tomorrow or the day after. With the stats in them. But when we get the stats, if Claude's stats are equal to or better than Walt's in terms of spread, because like, I mean you can't really see them right now, but
Sun's in my eyes.
he's got 53, 42, 31, 26. So it's like, you know, he's got like good defenses. They're like, well, actually, that's not a good example. I'll show you right now, actually, because we just beat the stage of his actual stat line. And of course, if I were running Claude as my main unit, I would give him ally support as well. So he's got 49 base HP, 49, well, not 49 base attack, minus 12 is 37 base attack, 36 base speed, 27 base defense and 22 base res. This is at +1 and summoner support, I know, but this is compared to Claude. So his defenses are kind of low, especially his res. They're both under 30, but with all the buffs, it's very easy to bring them back up. And his offensive stat line is very good as well. If Claude is in any way better than this, the thing that I care most about is probably his defensive stats. His speed I can easily patch up with stuff like spur speed, and also the fact that he just can get +5 speed in combat thanks to his bow. You know. I'll do another one.
Sun's in my eyes.
Basically, to get to the point, if I get a Claude with the exact IVs that I want after we learn what the stats are, and he
Sun's in my eyes.
just gonna do this. I keep losing my train of thought. I'm trying not to lose these as well. I mean, I've got all the rewards, but I just don't want to lose.
Let's see now.
That should be good.
Back at it.
Although that Gulk's gonna come over and smack me with his dagger that does additional damage. Never mind, he did 5. If the Claude that I end up getting, if I get a Claude, is absolutely perfect to what I want, he's got like the right Bane, he's got an okay boon, he's got the right boon, an okay Bane that I can deal with, like maybe like minus HP, or if he's got like a good defense and bad res, and minus defense plus res, something like that. If he's absolutely
Wouldn't miss it.
perfect, basically, perfect for what I want him to be,
Let's be happy.
then
Sun's in my
I will consider replacing Walt with Claude. But there's a catch, and the catch is I'll also only do it if it's what you guys want. Because I know this is my game, and like I can do what I want with my own save file and my own units and stuff. But
My turn?
I also like making content that you guys like. So if you guys would prefer to see a bunch of Walt clears everything content, or if you guys would prefer to see a bunch of Claude beats everything content, that's basically what I want to know. So that's why I posed the question to you guys. I won't be upset with either choice. I'm still pulling for Claude because I still want Claude, and I will still use Claude, just not as my main unit. He'll probably just end up on my horse team.
Wouldn't miss it.
But yeah, so I posed the question to you guys for your own interests, for what you think I would prefer. I don't know, answer whatever you want. I'll even put a poll on Twitter as well. Basically, just tell me,
Sun's in
would
my eyes.
you prefer my content to continue being Walt
Let's be happy.
focused, or would you rather it be Claude focused? That's basically what I'm asking of you guys. So yeah, I think I'll title this video like the Claude Dilema or something, make it seem kind of
Time to dive in.
serious. Ooh.
Let's see now.
Also,
For eternity.
someone pointed this out to me. It wasn't in the comments of a video. Someone that had watched it told me. They said, "Why do you always like buff up when there's like one unit left? Why do you always buff up your main unit like all the way?" And I'm just like, it's nice to just like do all this damage, okay? Like obviously I could have just attacked with Walt in that scenario and got the kill, but I think it's fun to just beef him up all the way.
It's my turn?
Oh, I
Yes,
have to
dear.
actually dance.
Time to dive in. Wouldn't miss it.
Back at it.
But yeah, so I just want to know what you guys
Sun's in my eyes.
want to see from my content, because my content will change which unit I main, basically. And like I already said, I'm not gonna be
Time to dive in.
like upset with either answer, because if I was upset, for example, if you guys were like, nah, we want to see Walt, we don't want to see Claude, everyone was going to do Claude, you're like the only guy who does Walt. If everyone wants to see Walt, and then I get upset that it's Walt, then clearly I want to keep Walt. And the opposite is true as well. If everyone's like, no, Walt's boring, do Claude, 3 houses height. And then I'm like, oh, but I want to do Claude, I want to do Walt. Then obviously I prefer Walt over Claude. So I'm stating right now that I don't have a preference. And that's why I'm leaving it up to you guys whether I start having Claude as my main unit or Walt as my main unit. And remember, this is only if
Time to dive in?
I can
My turn?
pull him.
Wouldn't miss it.
If I don't pull him, then there's no point. I won't even have the choice. But I still want your guys' opinion anyway. We're almost at the end now. I don't really have... That was kind of all I had to say. I don't really have much else to say. I'm very excited for my Let's Play to start, my 3 Houses Let's Play. I'm gonna have the game a day early compared to, like, you know,
Time to dive in?
most of my audience, which is the US, because of time zones. Because of time zones, it'll be
Wouldn't miss it.
Thursday for the US and Europe when it's Friday here. That sounds correct. Yes, that is correct.
See now.
So because of that, I'll actually have the game, like I'll go and pick up my physical copy of the game before most of you, like some people who are watching it could have it. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do. You could be secret Nintendo reviewers, I don't know.
What's your plan?
Time to dive in?
For eternity.
Yeah. I'll have the game before most people. So, like, you know, if you... I'll also have the episode up, like, on that first day as well, on the first Friday that it releases, which is the Thursday for you guys. So if you guys are, like, you know, kind of on the fence about it, you still haven't, like, pre-ordered it, but you still want to maybe pick it up first day, you know, you can watch my video and maybe see how you feel about it. Of course, my video won't be the best quality, but that shouldn't deter you from the actual game itself. Deter you from my videos? Possibly. But from the game itself, it shouldn't, because the game isn't going to look like my not very good quality YouTube video. Actually, it's okay quality, it's just not direct feed. But yeah. So I'm very excited to start that Let's Play. I'm very excited to summon for Claude. I'm going to be doing a video for that as well. And I'll still be continuing on with my Fire Emblem 7 Let's Play. Yep, see, I have 120 orbs now. And if we add the 20 that I get from the story, that's 140, plus the 1 that's the login bonus, which makes 141, but that probably won't make much of a difference. Like, maybe right at the end I'll get stuck with 5 orbs on the last summon and there'll be 1 colorless orb and Claude will be inside of it. But that's a very unlikely scenario. I'll also have 4 summon tickets because of the Forging Bonds, which I believe is actually on the notifications board. Yeah, here it is. There he is, right on the yellow, where he should be. Oh, and also 2 orbs from there, so I'll have 143 orbs. 4 tickets, 1 free summon, because I'll also do my free summon on camera, not off camera. How to forge bonds. How to make friends. Oh, and we can see their accessories. So it looks like Byleth's is the hat that they wear in their... actually, I think only male Byleth wears the hat. I don't know if female Byleth wears the hat. It's from the expansion pass. From the expansion pass. From the expansion pass. I don't speak expansion pass like that. But then it looks like there's going to be these 3 little tassels for like the houses? Do they wear them? Is that like part of their clothing? Doesn't look like it. But yeah. So that's going to be it for this video. Sorry it wasn't very entertaining. I didn't really have... Oh, hi. I'm recording something. Alright, well, just... That's it for this video. I didn't really have anything planned for today, but I made this anyway. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.